This episode was brought to you by Autograph Events, our sponsor.
Come take my hand, I will walk with you. I won't let go till you say so. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. Wanna make sure that you understand.
Thank you for tuning in to the Crowdy Files.
I'm Craig Bryson.
And I'm Jodie Mears.
And together, we are the Crowdy Files.
Season 2, Episode 1. In this episode, we are going to talk about
The future of administrative assistant's role, the buzzword discussion.
Without you, there is no tomorrow. Without you, there is no tomorrow.
the future of administrative assistant's role, and it really is the buzzword discussion there. It's covered so much from what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing it as well.
On panel discussions.
And courses, on training, and even internal EAs, Chat GPT.
That's just one of them.
Yeah,
There's
loads.
loads. So the future of our role is being discussed while it is evolving in its natural state anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's dive in and talk about the future.
Just one thing. I think it's that fear of the unknown. And I think that's what everybody today in EA world is. Am I going to be replaced? And I don't think it is. I think we need to embrace it. We need to learn and grow with it.
Definitely. You're right. We're at that pinch point, that crossroads of, there's a thing called the computer coming in. What does that mean for me? Do you still need me to type and write and stuff envelopes?
Yeah.
We are just panicking slightly that it means something huge, where in actual fact, like I said, it's just the fear of the unknown. We're really good as humans and administrative assistants anyway of adapting and running with something. So hold tight.
Yeah.
Just go with it. Just continue with your learning and development, and I'm sure everything
and we're
will be fine.
evolving. I mean, work is getting really, really busy. It's fast paced. And, we also want to spend time with our family. We also want to, do our personal stuff that we like to do.
Yeah.
But I think AI is going to help alleviate all that stress and that, all that information that we need to try and get together.
And evolving, I mean, the word evolving in itself can often mean change over a long period of time. So we almost need another word. I can't think of one right now. But instead of evolving over a long period of time, it's like an accelerated version of the word evolve.
Yes.
So we've really got to jump on it and just see where it takes us.
Yeah.
It's only ever going to be positive. These are only going to lead to even more efficiencies.
And you owe it to your future self to start learning it now so you don't have the issues and be left behind early on down the line.
Right. So when we're 75 and we had those questions on a panel and the panelists said, when you were doing that podcast thing, what would you have told your younger self?
Well, we're telling them now.
Who said, don't panic. Everything works out fine.
It always works out fine in the end.
Okay. So AI, it's nothing new. We're using it pretty much every day, even with AI automated chatbots. Maybe doing online shopping, you need to return something, with those annoying chat boxes where, what do you want to do today? Can you give me more information? And then I could direct you. And even on the phone.
In the phone, they've been using it for years. Push 1 for this, push 2 for that, and you try and push 0 just to get into
operator.
I just want to speak to a human.
I want to speak to someone, which leads me on to a thought, just to soothe the mind as well. AI doesn't have an end consumer, only humans.
Yeah.
So whichever way it goes, we're always going to crave that human interaction.
I agree.
So it's only ever going to be, in my opinion, and these are our personal opinions, an efficiency, time-saving, productivity tool to aid us in our human interactions, work, personal. So it's never going to take over the world. So the buzzword, what does it mean for us in our corporate companies, in whatever company you're in, entrepreneur, you might be virtual, you might be a personal assistant. What does it actually mean?
But I know in huge corporations, they don't allow that at the moment.
Yet.
I think they're probably doing more research because what do we have involved? GPDR, all the data.
Ethics and compliance. There's a hell of a lot of compliance around, what information do we feed AI to get answers that we ask questions. So a few things I've been hearing recently is if you want more accurate answers from Chat GPT, there are loads, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just touch on that.
Yeah, there's bots from Google.
There's many others. Chat GPT is just one standalone application by OpenAI, but there's going to be loads of different other versions that might even call themselves Chat GPT that aren't even Chat GPT.
Yeah.
So you've got to be really careful, mindful, knowledgeable about what you're opening, downloading and using. First of all, that's why we're suggesting learn, embrace, check it out first before you just throw everything into it. What I'm seeing and learning now is being advised by trainers and speakers that you need to feed it information.
And you have to be specific and clear in your prompts when you're writing that.
You do, but feeding it information, you need to put on the brakes there.
Yeah.
Especially in a work setting. First of all, you can't upload any company documents. That's going to be data breach for sure. A lot of compliance issues around that. But also, even in my opinion, you can't even copy and paste things out of an official document into ChatGPT. That's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
It's the same
If you
thing.
write into the AI, please write a report just like my boss. You still have to upload a copy of your boss's report for the AI to recognize how your boss writes. So that is a huge
That's a red flag.
That is definitely
That doesn't
a red
make
flag.
no sense because already I know, we should all know, with the internal training that we all get companies, you can't do that. So check it out first. So if there is a real roadblock with you using ChatGPT, Bard, Bing, whatever, just ask IT what their plans are first. What are the restrictions and the blockers for using it now within the workplace? And if it is just a hard no, don't use it on my system. Yeah.
You can use it personally.
Personally, yeah.
I've
got it on my phone.
Oh, really? Just to double check how you write, because it does improve your writing techniques and your writing skills, especially with somebody who's dyslexic.
Yeah, it really does. And it helps me get kick-started with writing as well. So maybe I'm at a creative block. I've got an idea. Put the question or the idea into ChatGPT and then go from there. And you kind of get a aha moment where you think, oh, right, I can start off that. Yeah. But you must chop it up, change it, edit. Yeah. Don't do a straightforward copy paste.
So I have a friend that has sort of applying for jobs on job searching platforms. And at the bottom, it says, FYI, if you use AI to write this introduction letter application, you will be instantly disqualified.
So why do you think that, already we're getting a bit of resistance there it's almost like a swear word.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because the employer wants to find out how you write, how you articulate, how you come across.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. But it does show great initiative and use of technology.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
I heard something similar, particularly with an interview process where the person was struck off.
Oh, really?
Even though this person was, pretty much in the running for this role, because they had used AI to submit part of their application or case study or whatever it was almost frowned upon. I found that really sad.
It is sad. Not embracing the future.
There should be an element of,
compromise.
Well done. You did go that extra mile. You thought outside the box. As long as you can give credit to your sources, and that's a good.
Yeah, it's another one because AI actually goes into the internet, doesn't it, and brings back all this information, and then you don't know where it's bringing the information. So that's also for copyright infringement.
It could be. It could be. It goes a lot deeper than I understand in the moment. And there's open AI, there's private AI, there's machine learning, there's all kinds of different topics and understandings around the use of AI in our profession that we need to get our heads around.
I think maybe if the big corporations, if they had, purchased an AI, then that is catered for their system. So it doesn't go outside. It uses the intranet, that sort of any information, I'm trying to find a PowerPoint presentation that was done 2-3 years ago, that AI will be able to go into the internet system and be able to find that information and bring it together, because it's so difficult. And you have internet and you're trying to find something and it's huge and it's not coming up what you're trying to look for. I think that would help.
That's a good point. But you know what that sounds like to me?
What?
That sounds like a glorified SharePoint site.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. You love a SharePoint
I
site.
love a SharePoint. I'm certainly going to be sharing that and then a couple of other episodes that's coming out.
Yeah, but it is a good point, where we're going to get to that point in time where companies will have their own adopted version of an AI to best suit the business protocols, the policies, procedures, ethics, compliance, because wherever the company is based and registered, that would bring up, there's different country laws. So eventually, I think we'd see different versions of AI being used within the corporate setting. And the way I'm bubbling it down to in my head is it is going to be like a glorified SharePoint site. But will that do away with a few roles? Maybe.
But would they also make us lazy? Because we're not thinking of ourselves. We're just getting, just put an AI, let them find it for us. Do you think?
I don't know. We really need to stay on top of, controlling the efficiencies and time saved.
That's definitely a good point. Yeah. Because
so
if
the
you've got
movement needs to be progressive within our role.
I mean, an example I was thinking is if you've got a party within the corporate company and 3,000 sort of names and your boss says, find these emails, and you have to go through all the platforms in your systems to try and find out those emails, the AI could just go, check all the names, what companies they were, and then just fill in all the emails. That's a better use of our time than sitting for hours and hours when you could be doing other things that are more important, trying to find emails.
Yeah, exactly. So where some people are worried about losing their role to AI, they're the people who will not be forthcoming in producing new ideas of how they can maybe keep control of this new AI process, because every process needs managing. Yeah. So that's where I think it will go. If you're not running with it, you're definitely going to be running alongside it.
Yeah.
And it might be good to learn gently now so you can make positive suggestions to say, I've been learning about this for the last year, and I've got some suggestions of how we can incorporate that into our current processes.
And that's also quite important as an EA, making sure that you're sitting on meetings instead of like, I don't want to go to that meeting. Sitting on that meeting and then listen to what the bosses are saying and say, can I just suggest that I've just been working with AI and I can actually say that will cut that process in half by using this process. So one, you're looking like a star. Okay, great. You've got a solution. And then could you lead it? Could you run it? Could you sort of get a team together? So that's how you put yourself forward as, being that, strategic PA.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. But be prepared, because with every good idea comes the next question. Yeah. Well, do you want to run with that then? Or whatever you suggest. Yeah. You have to have the time to back it up. If it was your suggestion in the first place, be prepared to follow that through to say, yes, I'm prepared to show you how. Yes, I'm prepared to do the work myself and show you the efficiencies that can be made by doing this. And I'll show you who I need to help me. Yeah.
And you could also probably just do a sort of video VC, record yourself doing it to train other EAs or other EAs.
That's a good idea.
That's good. I mean, this would be great for your end of year, performance reviews.
It would.
I've done this, and this,
That would be really good. But again, if you don't feel like you can do it right now in your role, maybe practice home on your personal topics and tasks that you've been given, maybe a family wedding planning or whatever the topic is.
Yeah.
Maybe do a light-hearted practice with using AI.
Yeah.
Come up with solutions. And we're really good at that as a profession.
Oh, definitely.
Think on your feet. Solutions, not problems.
Work your magic.
The Crowdy Files is brought to you by Autograph Events, our show sponsors. Autograph Events are the experts in providing a complete event management solution. From free global venue finding through to full on-site event management, executive away days, team building, and offsite meetings, they can help us plan it all. They offer that extra pair of hands, a bit like the assistant's assistant. The best part is they understand how we like to work. They understand our role. So for more information, email events@autograph-events.co.uk, quoting Crody Files 2023 to find out how they can help you plan your next event and for your personal reward. Terms and conditions apply. Please see our website, craigandjodie.com. Right, so we've discussed AI in general and how it could possibly sort of affect our role in the future, what to do now, what to think about, and how you can implement a few ideas into your work setting now. There is a lot of training, learning, development courses that jumping on this
bandwagon.
It really is.
It is,
yeah.
isn't it?
So if you think about their initiative as businesses, trainers, leaders now, they're jumping on something. It's an opportunity.
It is.
To, share knowledge, help the industry grow. The same opportunity that they are presenting to you, you need to kind of present that same opportunity to yourself and to your boss and your corporation, don't you?
Yeah,
agree?
I agree.
So right now is where the opportunity is and is starting from. But how do you know what you need?
Oh, that's difficult.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, we hear about this. The main thing we get feedback from our listeners is, but what does that mean exactly? What do I do? What do I start off doing now? Because it's hard when you're presented with so much information, so many chats, webinars, courses, panel discussions, live input. There's so many.
Information overload.
It really can be. Especially if you're into your learning and development like we are, to then drill that down when you get home as to, right, what is actionable now? What can I implement now before you lose the information? Like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been seeing a lot of courses that are almost teaching you to, what type of questions or prompts that you can use to get certain outcomes. I think it's a bit controversial, but I think you could do that yourself.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, it's nice to get started and get some ideas flowing. But it is very subjective to your setting, your industry, as to what the type of prompts might be.
Yeah.
And I've been practicing on Chat GPT on the app on my phone, of asking it, what are the best prompts to use as a prompt? So you can ask it things like that. It does come back with some really interesting answers, and you can give it a tone, in an authoritative tone, in a celebrity tone. You can make it fun and then adapt it to you.
Yeah.
I would rather do that than upload voice notes of myself to say in the tone of Jodie Mears. I do. I don't want to feed it that information.
No.
So maybe practice asking what are the best prompts to use for administrative assistance when asking for an early end of year appraisal, or what are the best prompts to use when asking for the best way to organise meetings, off-site meetings with 16 people with a limited budget. Give me some words, give me some prompts. So understanding, it's like phrasing questions. What are the prompts?
But you have to give the AI much context as possible. And, it also helps you to proofread. So if you're writing a novel, I mean, I've always had a dream to write a novel. And,
have you?
Yeah. But, it's so difficult being dyslexia and trying to type and thinking how this will help me put my idea into AI, and then it will actually bring out what I was trying to say in the right word order.
In a much less stressful way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's also audio, there's so much AI related software other than just Chat GPT. And audio. So translate, dictate what I'm saying into text.
Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah, no. So
exactly. That'd be cool.
Well, there is at the moment. There's a new AI come out for all podcasts. It's only English. No other countries can listen to it. And then they put this through the software and it converts it into Spanish. Ooh, but you have to remember, Spanish words are longer. So instead of a 1 hour or 30 minutes, it will be a 1 hour and 20 minutes because of the wording and all that. But I would love to hear myself speaking Portuguese. My partner would love that.
But proofreading the outcomes of what you've asked are essential. Don't be too much in a rush to get an answer from AI, copy, paste in a document, send, boom.
No.
You've got to really take your time with it and have patience, because you're saying about the prompts. You really need to feed it as much information. So initially I thought, oh my goodness, like it seems an absolute chore at the moment. By the time you've written a really detailed prompt, you think,
copy and paste, and it's like,
I could have done this myself. Why didn't I just answer my own question?
It's true. It's not like Google. You know, when you're trying to find, where's the best restaurant? It's more depth.
That's a search engine. So this is a bot. You know, this is they're completely different.
And
so
artificial intelligence.
Yes. Your questioning needs to be completely different. It is not a Google search. And if we keep feeding it Google search type of questions, it's not going to be useful.
And I think there are courses out there that help you to understand how to ask the questions. And this is how you have to do it. This is how you have to be precise. And there must be a little method of you need to do a subject, you need to do all this type of thing. So I don't think the courses are really up and running because they're still working on it and all the the ins and outs and all that. I think
official courses may be, because again, it's going to be subjective to you in your role. So by the time that rolls out and your company gives you a version of Chat GPT that is usable within the workplace and it's fully compliant, you might then have to go on another internal course to realize and understand what type of prompts we need to be using. But right now there's loads. And that's what I was speaking about at the beginning of saying, that there's people are already using this as an opportunity to educate, which is great, get ideas. But you can think outside of those boxes, try and relate it to your role that you're in right now. What do I actually need it for? Is it time saving, efficiencies? How can I make tasks, my job, more efficient? And the prompts for me, I imagine having a team of PAs, EAs working with me. And when you ask someone a question, can you help me with something? I need you to do a task. Yeah, sure. What is it? Oh, it's this. I need it by Tuesday. It needs to be 500 words long. It definitely needs to be in English. It needs to contain dates, times, locations. The same energy that you put into asking someone at work to do something for you is the same energy you need to put in a prompt to the AI. So you need to have that very detailed prompt or question to get out that useful answer. So next we have a listener question. Lauren Foster has kindly sent in her question.
Come take my hand, I will walk with you. I won't let go till you say so.
Hi, Crody. My name is Lauren. I am an executive assistant in a headhunting company. And my question for you is, what is your take on AI in the executive assistant space, like Chat GPT and Dragon Dictate, etc.? I know times are changing and we've got to keep up with the times, but this has always been a concern of mine as AI progresses. Jobs are becoming redundant due to robotics and AI being able to do the job in place of a human. Do you think this is something we need to worry about or should be worried about?
To answer this listener question, we have a contributor to add his take. David Philp, Chief Value Officer from Cohesive Group, will answer and give his top tips. With over 30 years in the construction industry, David is a chartered construction manager by background. He has previously worked as a director with major organisations including Balfour Beatty, Mace and AECOM. As CVO, he is responsible for driving customer centricity and creating sustainable value for our clients across their asset lifecycle and portfolios. David has been involved in delivering innovative projects, digital change strategies and digital asset management strategies across the globe, the UK, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia and the Baltics. He is a world-renowned speaker, often takes part in panel discussions and interviews. And we can't wait to hear what Dave has to say.
Hey, Jodie. Thanks for letting me join your podcast. I'm Dave Philp, and I'm Chief Value Officer of the Cohesive Group. One of the things that I believe is the role of the executive PA is incredibly important to well-performing organisations. And I really believe that digital adoption and the growing opportunities around machine learning and artificial intelligence, or AI, are really to provide the PA community with increasing capabilities, and I think some really exciting new opportunities. However, I think it's still fair to say that artificial intelligence, or AI, is still in the early days. It's growing exponentially and it's going to move us to an exciting future. I think it's going to offer you some amazing new opportunities. I think some of the big ones that I can see are starting to automate some of the tasks. Scheduling is going to help email management. And indeed, it's going to free up, I think, more time for executive assistants to focus on increasingly high-level tasks. There's also, I think, some assists in terms of composing emails and reports, but I would be mindful about that. I think it's more into helping at this moment in time in terms of how it can help reformat or reposition documents rather than actually automating it fully for you. But overall, it should reduce that time you're going to spend on these tasks. And I think it's going to help with things like accuracy, making sure it's consistent, and indeed, it's got a line of sight back to, the actual purpose as well. There's some basic things that you can do as well with research and helping you gather some actionable insights. But again, be mindful because a lot of these AI engines are still in that learning of teaching within there. So what's my advice to your listeners, your podcast, which I think is fantastic? I say one of the things I've always tried to do is stay curious about emerging technologies such as AI. Learn as much as possible. There's some great videos on YouTube. I always enjoy them in the evenings as well. But look at the value proposition for your role. But be mindful as well. I always think, speak to your legal counsel. There's many speed bumps we need to consider, especially around about ethics and biases. So, speak to your legal counsel, get people together, and maybe looking at putting some policy for AI in your organisation. But thank you for listening to my thoughts. Keep up the great work, and I'm a great supporter of the work that you're all doing. So please keep on going and enjoy the new technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave, for sending in your contribution. Really interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah. It's nice to have a completely different perspective outside of the administrative world. But the same applies, doesn't it? Be curious.
Yes.
Ask questions. Stay on top of the technology. Don't shy away from it.
No. So what are your top tips on this episode?
Oh, well, there's quite a lot jammed into that one, isn't there?
There is.
I think work on your prompts that could be relevant to your role now.
Yeah.
So make it relevant to you.
I would also suggest download an AI app and then just give it a go. Try it.
Just try it, yeah. If you haven't already, make an account, have a play.
Don't fear it. No. Embrace it.
Learn as much as you can.
And also learn how to write a prompt.
Definitely.
With an AI.
And build a business case slowly now so that you're ready for when your organisation introduce their version of AI.
Yeah.
Show that you're already on it.
Yeah.
You're already that internal expert, or at least the thought leader.
Yes.
And being that person to go to, as we already are in.
Yeah. EAs always are. Thank you for listening to the Crowdy Files. Don't forget to check out our website, craigandjodie.com, or on any of our social media, the Crowdy Files.
We look forward to receiving your Hi Crowdy messages, questions and emails. You are not alone. Keep sharing the knowledge. Keep sending them in. We read every single one of them. And if you do want to take part, please let us know if you would like to record them via voice note yourself, and we will feature them on the next episode.
In our next episode, we shall discuss what are the typical tasks of an administrative assistant. I'm Craig Bryson.
And I'm Jodie Mears.
And together, we are the Crowdy Files. This episode was brought to you by Autograph Events, our sponsor.